But when I was talking about the barometer aspect,
Yeah.
that's your discernment.
Yeah.
So your discernment, I'm not going by like, because there's women that wrap their heads and be in
Yeah,
church,
and
and
then
when you
they're
go
not.
outside, they
Ain't nothing.
twerking
It's
like it, like
nothing.
you feel me, better than the girls on the poles. Like
That's
they go
true.
crazy. But what I'm saying is this: when you are using your discernment, one thing that I always try to advise individuals, especially like going into a relationship, obviously everybody knows the verse unequally yoked. And we can use that in so many different ways. Muslim and Christian, you should not do it. But it also goes for a Christian and a non-believer, because anybody that's on the fence is not a believer.
It's not a believer.
You don't know that when you are first on the fence. Like for you, when you guys were at that initial stage, when you first gave your life to Christ, you was walking that fence because you was in the club and you was at church.
It was that
You
that
was doing
trend.
this and you was doing
Saturday
that.
night church
You know what I'm
on Sunday
saying?
morning.
You walk that fence, and that's literally lukewarm. That's why I had to
Lukewarm.
ask you if when you're talking about the cold and hot, we have to make sure that's not a consistent thing. No, and I'm glad you clarified that. But we can always see those individuals because we've lived it. That walking on the fence, that thin line of, I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. It becomes unstable, because when you as a true believer that's on this side of the fence, dating somebody that's on the fence, and unfortunately, it's easier for them to pull you to their side
Yep.
than for you to pull them to this side.
Yep.
That's
Because you got rules over here and he don't, or she don't. So you continuously watching this person like doing everything, you trying your best to keep your faith up, and you're seeing it firsthand of somebody that prays a little bit, but they still go out and do little things, and now you're gonna start adopting those little nuggets. So especially as a woman, I don't think that is wise for you to date a man that's walking the fence.
And that happens to
So-
me too, I'll say.
So
because-
let me put it that way.
Mhm.
I'm not going on the fence. I don't, because I let's just say I never had the fence life in a way,
Praise
so
God.
I do not understand the fence life.
But you've seen it. You've
But
seen young people that know.
I see people do it.
Yeah.
But to me, when I see before you get to a dating part of a person, the first thing you should go and do is, Jehovah, if that person is not for me, show me that person is not for me.
So talk to me about that prayer, because that prayer is so powerful.
It's so
Yes,
powerful.
But you know
It
what?
is.
You know what else is powerful? Your yearning.
You're yearning.
Your
Your
want.
desire.
Your desire. No,
Desire.
I'm telling you, because that
done that.
prayer is so strong, but
Yep.
sometimes you find yourself praying and you answering yourself and like, yeah,
Yep.
thank you, God.
Yep.
And God ain't even talked to you yet.
that's true, because
God ain't even answer yet.
I'm gonna say I'm an example of that prayer, because I remember during that time before I got married, when I was about to get married, I remember I was on my knees and I was asking God, if this person is for me, show me. If that person is not for me, remove him in my life. And God showed me that person wasn't for me, but
your
I wasn't
desire.
listening. My body wasn't allowing me to see that God had already given me the answer. God had shown me multiple times in my dream, send people to tell me that person wasn't my person. And I didn't listen. Yes, and I'm the type of person I have
so
to see
you
it.
were kind of like, God, show me that person is for me, not for me, or for me. Not, and at the same time, the moment you finish doing the prayer, you turn out your ears.
That's
You
what
turning
I'm
out your
saying.
eyes. But at the same time, as a Christian, your desire should not take over your
shouldn't.
prayer.
It
It's
shouldn't.
human.
It shouldn't.
I
But when
understand
you're
we're
with
human.
someone who is not on the same level, or someone who
You're
is
gonna
not,
make it make
it's
sense.
gonna
Yes.
make it's gonna be harder
You're
for
gonna
you.
be pushing yourself
It's
to
gonna
make
be
it make
so
sense.
much harder.
Exactly.
Relationships that you know is not good for you, you're gonna find every little way to
reason.
make it right.
And the way that I live my life on discernment. If I find myself like trying to convince myself,
right, constant battle, just
then I already know like this wasn't for me. But I'm
Yeah.
trying to convince myself. You think you're trying to convince God, but you're trying to convince yourself
Yourself.
Yeah.
on how I can make this work
That's true.
with the Bible. Anytime that you find, and I speak from the sense of when I used to smoke. Before I quit smoking, bro, I'm gonna pray before I smoke. I'm gonna pray in the morning. I'm not gonna go smoke first. I'm gonna pray first. Like I've spoken about this on the stage. Like you do so much, bro. Or even with a woman. Like if you with a woman, like God, I'm gonna marry her. Like I'm having sex because I'm gonna marry her.
Right.
This is the
tell
way.
yourself all these lies.
This is what I'm telling God, bro.
Yeah,
In order for me to keep having sex, I'm saying, God, I'm gonna marry her. Like. If you are living on that fence, I'm telling you, you're going to make every excuse in order to keep that. So that's why it's very important. I understand what you're saying. Now, when I pray, I understand what prayers I'm praying. But if you are praying in a sense of not even in a sense of, if you're praying from a position of wanting,
you're trying to get a
you
yes
have
for what
to
you want.
Yes.
wait. You have to wait.
You know what's so funny while we're talking about Christian dating? Christian dating literally puts you in a season of singleness. Like it's so like while we were talking about it, I'm just like, but in reality, you're all alone. You are really by yourself when you are dating.